How are we doing on these chords?
Pretty good.
Do you think maybe don't grip it on the connection part? Maybe.
Sure.
I don't know. Yeah. This is my guess. It doesn't give us much to grip.
God, I just want a grip.
To be a grip.
God, get a grip. Get a grip,
To be
pal.
a grip on the film sets of this day and age.
I like the grips. They're like pirates.
Yeah.
I worked with this dude named Killian. Long blonde hair, missing teeth. Look, he was a pirate.
Blonde beard. Blonde head.
Blonde head. Blonde head. Probably blonde beard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Killian, that's a pirate name.
It is.
Yeah. We worked on this film when I was like 19. But I would hang out with the grips. They'd give me cigarettes. So I was 19.
Smoke this little guy.
Come on.
Smoke him into a grip.
If you're cool enough.
That's the progression from actor to grip is one cigarette at a time. Until the director looks at you and he's like, I don't know, man. You're kind of giving off grip energy now. Why don't you go and move that light? It is interesting for anyone who doesn't work in movies, television.
Yeah, we're showbiz folks.
We're showbiz folks, first and foremost. R.I.P. Los Angeles for career reasons only.
Yes.
But for anyone who doesn't, it's truly amazing that like what you see on the camera and how a movie is made in terms of the people involved.
Yeah.
You could not imagine the degree to which it's a construction site.
Oh yes,
It's
1,000%.
guys that it's just people that are it's brutes, big gentle giants.
Yes,
most of them gentle, just moving big shit.
Yeah,
and you don't see any of it. And you know what? The Fall Guy was a finally a long overdue love letter to stuntmen. Where's the love letter to grips? Where's the love letter to the best boy grip?
Oh, the best boy.
And
we love the best boy.
Oh my God.
The script girl and the best boy. That could be a movie. They fall in love.
Yeah.
Because they used to call them script girl.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of continuity supervisors are still women.
Yeah, it is. I've only worked with women in that trade.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's like just like a hangover sort of thing, or they I think they're good at it. I mean, the women who do it, at least.
Yeah.
These women, they're always paying attention.
Women notice flaws, men move steel.
100%.
And that's the movie way.
That's how we get into the movies.
No matter how progressive Hollywood becomes, they can't shake that.
Yeah, no, everything in the scene was right, but like, you didn't say you like my haircut.
Funny to imagine behind the scenes of a Wes Anderson movie where everything's like, is the teacup the same shade of paisley, the same paisley pattern as the drapes, and is Jason Schwartzman, does he blend into the comforter correctly? And then behind the scenes it's like, where do you want this, Wes? Wes, where should I put this?
Wes, where do you want this bicycle made out of an old tuba?
Should we forge anything for you, Wes?
Yeah. Do you need a submarine cut in half? We can do it.
We can do it, Wes, but it might take some time. Take all the time you need, fellas. Just make sure that the submarine's the same color as, I don't know, his pants.
Yes.
Hard to believe. And yet, even behind the scenes of our most twee productions, there is still brutish labor going on.
Yeah, and it's clearly just a job, you know?
It's a job.
It's a job. It's, you're clocking in. And I love hearing stories of like sets where, especially like a young director comes in, like a George Lucas or somebody, and then they don't like him because he's young and he's trying to make Star Wars.
Yeah, he's too brash.
And he's probably a dork.
Yeah.
Probably a fat dork.
Yeah, I'll say.
Yeah. And then you hear stories of like the crew, like the British crew on Star Wars going into like open rebellion.
Really?
Yeah, because they're like, that's not how we do it around here.
Well, you know how George Lucas feels about rebels. He lets them win.
That's so true.
But they gotta earn it.
Yeah, they blew up his Death Star.
Yeah, and George was like, God damn it, you guys. That's... ethically, I'm on your side.
Yeah, if I didn't respect you guys so damn much.
You've got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got it.
So, what's up, Mark? How we doing? We're in the studio.
We're in the studio. We're in the brand new studio. I'm feeling good about it. It's a beautiful job you've done here, Erik.
Thank you so much.
I've contributed very little, but I have contributed one Eminem artifact.
Yes.
From the streets of Marrakesh.
Marrakesh. One of my favorites.
Not a lot of movies made in Marrakesh, but I will tell you this. There's a Kate Winslet movie called Hideous Kinky that she made right after Titanic, and a lot of people haven't heard of it, and there's good reason for that. It's not good.
Hideous Kinky.
Hideous Kinky. Now imagine calling a movie that and thinking to yourself, surely people will want to see this.
This is it.
This is the title. Surely this will capture the imaginations and not repel people. Not push them away at a cheetah's pace.
Yeah. Well, the other one was ugly, weird sex stuff.
Yeah, and that did not pass the censors, so they had to settle for Hideous Kinky.
Have you seen it?
I've seen half of it. I think I got through Hideous. I'm not sure if I made it to Kinky.
Got you.
But I will say this: the first half of Hideous Kinky. Downright awful. But I did talk to a tour guide in Marrakesh, and he seemed very proud that they had made it there, that Kate Winslet was living in their streets for a few months, and it does seem like it would have been cool.
Yeah. Now, I don't know how we're going to release these, but the Oscar nominations did just come out.
Yeah. What'd you think of those?
Well,
that was this morning, may I say.
That was this morning. Yeah, so I'm thinking we got to, maybe figure a way to jump the line or something, get this in so it's topical. But
considering every one of our previous episodes was about Christmas,
that's true.
We can probably push that to, I don't know, sometime late in the year.
Well, I mean, I didn't dwell on the list too much, but I was just scanning to see, and much to my chagrin, that The Fall Guy was snubbed in every category.
Yeah, who would have thought?
I don't know.
Who would have thought?
It couldn't get anything? Amelia Perez, you didn't like that movie.
No.
It got everything.
Yeah, it got the most nominations out of them all.
I haven't seen it, but it's not.
It's not a good one. It's
Did Nickel Boys get anything? I didn't look.
It did.
Good.
It got at least Best Picture. I haven't seen it yet. I've heard it's great. You saw it.
Nickel Boys was good.
Yeah.
I liked it. Yeah.
The Chad Kroeger story, of course.
Yes. Nickelback Boys.
Nickelback Boys. It's all about a guy who wants to be a rock star.
I'll even cut my hair and change my name.
But it is cool that they divided the story of that they had Chad Kroeger be played by two young black men. I would say that that's
a choice.
Downright controversial.
Hey, it's 2025. Anybody can be a Nickelback fan.
Oh, you're saying that they were fans. I'm saying that they were Chad.
You're saying Chad's not a fan?
Oh my God. What do you think is going to win Best Picture? And what would you like to win Best Picture? And aside from The Fall Guy, what should have been nominated?
Okay. What do I think? Can we pull up the noms?
Yes.
I mean, I'm gonna guess Nickel Boys or maybe Amelia Perez. I haven't seen Amelia Perez, but it just seems like that's a favorite. It won over Wicked for Best Song, which I don't feel like is true.
The songs in Amelia Perez are easily the worst part. When the musical numbers come in, it is fucking psychosis.
Yeah.
It's like they add, there's no reason for them. It doesn't feel like the emotion is bubbling over to the point where all you can do is sing it. It's just like, oh, now this lawyer is going to sing about law? About the process of studying for law
and getting
practicing law,
a sex change operation.
Yeah, the vaginoplasty song, which I guess is the best song, just because it kind of feels audacious, but at the same time, it's just like a conversation set to music. The fucking movie. When I went to see that movie, it was early days, and people had just told me it was great. So when I was watching it, I was like, am I an idiot? And I will say it's comforting to hear now that most people also think it's bad.
Okay.
I've read a lot of articles that are like, if this wins, it'll be the new Crash.
I liked Crash.
Which Crash?
Bandicoot.
I do not remember the Oscar-winning Crash, so I can't even say if I like it. But
the David Cronenberg Crash.
I do love the David
That one's
Cronenberg
crazy.
Crash. That's crazy.
I remember seeing. Well, I guess I saw Crash in theaters, so this was a long time ago.
Yeah, I was definitely a wee boy when it came out, but I was like, this is probably tackling all the world's problems. We're probably going to get better after this.
Well, I mean, when Ludacris shows his acting chops, can't really go wrong there.
I didn't know he was
I mean, I would love for Honora. I love Shawnee Bakes.
Yeah.
Brutalist. I haven't seen Conclave. Dune Part 2 is good. I haven't seen I'm Still Here.
Me neither.
Which one's that?
It's a Brazilian movie, I think.
Okay.
Or, I don't know. South American, I think.
So, I mean...
I haven't seen Wicked. I've seen The Substance. I haven't seen Nickel Boys. I haven't seen Honore yet, which is a big black mark on me. Because Red Rocket, one of my favorite movies.
So, I hope... I don't know if Honora would win Best Picture, but I hope Sean Baker wins for directing.
Did he get nominated for directing?
Yes.
He did. Well, that's very interesting. That's a sort of a nice... See, because I would say on this Best Picture list, there's a couple things that we like.
Mm-hmm.
I did like The Brutalist. Most of my friends did not...
Really?
Yeah, did not like it very much. Or at least not the second half. I think when I read about criticism of The Brutalist, there's a lot of people who are being like, taking on a lot, executing some. And I will agree that... I don't know how I feel about like parts of it, I guess, but the central relationship between the patron, the rich guy, Guy Pearce, and the artist, power and art, freedom and promise, insecurity and envy.
Yeah,
I would say it captured a lot of stuff that rung true for me.
I like that when he would be arguing with the other architect guy who was brought on. He's like, "What have you built?" And he goes, "I built a shopping mall in Connecticut."
Oh, when he goes, everything that is ugly, everything that is untrue, and everything that is something, but mostly everything that is ugly is your fault.
It's your fault.
That's a good punchline. I did see Conclave. If that that Conclave being nominated for, I mean,
I heard it was good, but not like spectacular.
No, it's totally fine. Like if you saw Conclave, if you saw it in the future, you'd be like, oh, I guess, oh, there's a movie. And then if you found out that it was nominated for Best Picture, you'd be like, what? What the fuck was going on that year? I haven't seen A Complete Unknown, but I know I'm not going to like it.
Give it up to that Joan Baez, folks.
There's no way I'm going to like that. I don't want to see Timothée Chalamet play Bob Dylan.
Why?
In no universe.
He's really good. He's really good.
I don't want to see it.
He's good.
I don't want to see it.
You forget he's Chalamet.
There's no way you forget he's Chalamet.
Have you ever seen Beautiful Boy with Timmy Chalamet?
No, I never saw Beautiful Boy.
He's very good in that too.
I like Timothée Chalamet.
The kid can act. I'm a Timbo.
I love him in Lady Bird. I love him in Come Peach, Call Me by Your Name, and I love him in other stuff. But there's no he's a little painted doll.
Yeah.
The idea of this, it's like getting Pinocchio to play. He's a tiny. He is the beautiful boy, and getting him to play this like hard knock poet freak. There's no way. Dude, it's like a parody of Hollywood.
I'm telling you though. Well, because I'm not even basing this just off my own thoughts because they can be skewed. But people who are big Bob Dylan fans, which I am not, or I'm not a Bob Dylan fan, but I don't, whatever. They loved it and they thought he did great.
Well, I can't speak to it because I haven't seen it, but I do feel like it's like getting it's like getting the most beautiful Funko Pop to play Bob Dylan.
Who else would do it?
It's like casting who would it be? It's like casting Glenn Powell to play Tom Waits. You'd be like, Glenn Powell did a great job. And then you'd be like, yeah, but on principle, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this.
Just, you're really putting people into boxes.
Yeah, I want them in boxes.
No. You can't put Timmy Chalamet in a box. He's too sharp. He'll poke through.
Just give me an ugly guy playing an ugly guy.
He goes, you got it. You can be really ugly. And you can be beautiful, but you just can't be plain looking up there. Got to be interesting to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is sort of a black Bob Dylan you're doing.
Shit.
Bob Dylan in The Wire, finally. Dune Part 2, a psychotic nomination.
No, it's amazing.
Fucking hated that movie.
What?
I like The Worm. I don't like that it's so hard to learn to ride the worm. You're going to have to master this, Timothée Chalamet. Cut to, the whole town is on the worm when they need to move.
Well,
They've got tents on the worm.
Well,
is it hard or is it easy?
I think it's hard to catch your first worm.
Fuck that.
The early bird gets the worm.
Fuck that.
Where'd you see it? On your phone? On a plane?
I saw it on my phone in a plane bathroom.
Yeah, exactly.
In the toilet of a plane.
Exactly.
And people were banging on the door saying, you can't vape in there.
Yeah, see it on 70 millimeter IMAX. It's amazing.
I have no access to that.
We live in...
I saw it on my phone in the Verizon store. And I kept saying, can I sample this one next? And they kept saying, you can't vape in here.
I bet Nickel Boys or Brutalist will probably win.
So, okay, let me tell you the Vegas odds.
Okay.
The Brutalist, is the only one with, what do you call that, odds, negative odds. So it's the only one that's the favorite, the heavy favorite, the Brutalist. But
Negative odds.
it's like minus 110 or whatever. You know what I mean? Where it's like,
I don't really understand odds.
odds are like, so that's like if you bet $100, you would make less than $200. Like you don't even double your bet.
Okay.
The odds, so a lot of people are picking the Brutalist, but that was before all this AI controversy came out.
What's the AI about the Brutalist?
Yeah. Allen Iverson's in it and people don't like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He keeps telling the other architects, we talking about practice?
He's always hanging on the structures with one of his arms.
Yeah. No, the AI controversy is that they used some AI to tweak the Hungarian speech of the two main characters. And people are upset about that. Rightly, because it's an acting category. Did you do the accent or didn't you? Don't tweak that shit.
I could see that playing for the actor in a leading role. Like that could affect the acting part. But as far as the best picture, I think use all the tools.
Yeah. Well, all right.
I'm not necessarily pro AI and stuff, but I don't think it should affect necessarily best picture as much as it affects
Yes, I feel what you're saying.
actors.
So,
But the only reason I say that is because classically there's those Oscar bait type of movies.
yeah.
And those two specifically check some of those boxes, but are also good.
Yeah.
Where Amelia Perez, from what I'm hearing, kind of checks that boxes, but isn't very good.
Yeah, I will say, first of all, that Oscar bait is when you pork yourself using a gold statuette.
Of course.
That's
Sorry.
Oscar bation.
I was Oscar baiting.
But of these movies, all of this is to say this. Right now, The Brutalist is the heavy favorite. Other than that, it seems to be Amelia Perez. Here's and I haven't even seen it yet. Put your money down on Nickel Boys. I've heard it's great.
It's good.
People are confirming it. It seems like an actually artistic, avant-garde-ish movie.
Yes, it's very arty. What if I came home and I go, dude, I took home an Oscar, and the guy behind me is like, hey, I'm Oscar. I'm Oscar.
Yeah, this is one of the great what ifs.
Did you see Sydney Sweeney isn't up for any Oscars, but she's got a couple of Golden Globes. Thank you, folks.
Now, I know that you are upset that your short film didn't get picked because you submitted it.
Once again.
Your short film, Grown Man Does Apple Dance and Kills It?
Mm-hmm.
Question mark, question mark, question mark?
I mean, it's clearly a nod to late stage capitalism and how...
Is it?
Well, you can kind of just say that about
Did you
stuff.
say it's a nod to late stage capitalism?
It's saying like, hey, good work. You guys have done it. We can't deny that they have done it.
You made it all the way to the late stage.
That's, whoa. What's after the late stage?
I mean, we always find a way, you know? You got postmodernism and then you're
Post Malone now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We used to have Malone. Now we have Post Malone. What's new?
Neo Malone.
It's going to have to be Neo Malone.
Yeah. Early Neo Malone movement.
And we love how the movements just cycle and cycle and cycle. I was upset that short of yours that you submitted didn't get in, but I think I was more upset about the other short that you submitted, which of course was White Guy Answers Phone, Almost Convinces Caller He's Black. And I like that you put almost.
Yeah, I think it would have been, I don't know, just not as artistically true to say that I did.
Yeah, artistically true, or factually true, because there is a point in this. I want to call it a sketch. You've called it a short film, where you ask the caller if they think you're black, and they go, "Oh, I don't know. Are you?"
I go, "Do you think I'm black?"
Yeah, and they go, "I don't know. Are you?"
And I go, "Wow."
And you go, "Sounds like an almost."
Yeah. It's not my job to educate people about me not being black.
It's not your job.
There's a great 30 Rock line where Liz Lemon calls her dad, and he goes, "Oh, Dick Lemon here." He goes, "Dad, it's me. You don't have to introduce yourself." He goes, "You always introduce yourself over the phone. It allows people to know your race without seeing what you look like."
Very good. Very good. Very good. Let me say just this about letting people know your race.
400-meter dash.
Very good.
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you. White middle-aged guys using black or gay slang, non-white slang, on stage in their stand-up bits. Uncomfortable for me.
Can you give me an example of gay slang?
Well, I don't know. See, this is what I'm saying. I think this is one of black slang, but like
Black slang, I understand more.
yeah. Well, I guess the gay slang would be like it's giving, you know.
Oh, sure.
It's giving late stage capitalism, or like it's giving my wife doesn't care about me, you know. And you're like, find a different way to say that. Or a guy saying like, I was out with my buddy and he was like telling me that he took home a girl last night, and I was like, that's cap, man. I was with you.
Oh, yeah.
40-year-old white man, don't say that's cap. Don't say that's cap.
Well,
Don't say that's cap.
I think while there definitely is still some, like, what do they call it? African American vernacular. That's like the real term or whatever. And then there's
man struggles not to say ebonics.
Ebonics, yeah.
Yeah.
Hooked on Ebonics. And then, but I think that all gets blended together now because it's all on TikTok.
Yeah, it does get blended.
And it's weird that we're all existing in the same space.
But so maybe it's
like,
less about
blacks and whites, I mean.
It is
but like
weird.
ages, it's insane. Like
The ages is what it really boils down to, yeah.
Yeah, no, whenever I hear I'm done learning new slang. I'll learn it so maybe I can understand it. But nothing to me makes you seem old. People try to do it so they seem young.
That's what I'm saying.
It makes you seem so old.
It makes you seem geriatric. You sound like the crypt keeper.
Yeah.
You sound like you're going like, I shall have your soul, no cap.
No cap.
No cap. It's giving, I'm here to kill you.
Yeah.
It's giving murder. It's giving.
Or when people do like TikTok meme phrases on stage, being like, tell me you're a crypt keeper without telling me you're a crypt keeper.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, that just, things can stay on the internet.
Yeah. It is interesting that there is just an internet way of talking, and it must stay on the internet.
Yeah. LOL.
It's like if old comedians talked like they were writing letters. You know?
My dearest crypt keeper.
Yeah. My dearest audience. Dude, this ain't a letter.
Come on, brother. Warmly, Ricky.
Warmly, Eric Scott.
Ricky Haircut.
That's how you sign off. Here's what I'm suggesting, Eric. I say we lean into the whitest slang we can find. You know what? You tell me a story that I think you're lying. I'm not going to say cap. You know, I'm going to say applesauce. Applesauce.
Well, that's pork chops, my friend.
That's applesauce, and I didn't order any pork chops. That's bologna, and I wanted ham. A lot of old white slang is just food.
It's just food.
It feels like it arose during the Depression because they wanted that food.
Oh, right.
I don't know if that's true, but it feels that way. A lot of you know what they used to call like a pimp, like a guy who came around like throwing money around and like owning and like sort of like strutting his
like
stuff.
Like a baller?
Yeah, like a baller.
What do they call him?
A butter and egg man. They called him a butter and egg man.
That's true.
Yeah.
Huh.
This guy's a real butter and egg man. Walking into a strip club. Hey, watch out, ladies. Ladies, I hope you're hungry for breakfast. A butter and egg man just walked in.
Someone turn on the griddle. The butter and eggs are here.
I hope none of you dames is lactose intolerant because the butter and egg man is about to make it rain. Rain butter. Rain eggs.
My grandpa was a milkman. That was a job he had.
Really? Small town Illinois milkman.
Yeah, and I wonder if he was one of the ones that was having sex with all the women.
Yeah, that was a real...
That's a thing that they say.
Yeah, it's a thing that they used to say is that when you didn't look like your dad, they'd say, oh, was he the milkman's baby?
Yeah.
Now, this is interesting. The idea that a milkman might have been a sexy commodity.
Oh, he's wearing all white.
Yeah.
Shorts.
Really, I think what it boiled down to, right, is that in the suburbs of the 50s and slightly after, the housewives were bored. He was the only guy making calls.
Well, that's
what it boiled down to.
And they probably weren't leaving the home very often unless they were with their husband. So this guy came to their house.
He came to their house bearing milk and a red hard thing. Red
like a dog's dick.
I got another something for you if you want, ma'am.
Please go away. Yeah. And
Grandpa was a milkman.
Grandpa was a milkman and Grandma was a Rolling Stone.
Grandpa was a milkman and my grandma was a cow. Took all the milk she'd give
and spread it all around town.
Very nice.
Yeah, and he was a mailman too.
Was he?
Yeah, loved delivering stuff. Had a bar.
He had a bar?
Mm-hmm. The toy bar.
What are you talking about?
My grandpa. This had nothing to do with being a mailman, but
Toy bar?
That was what he called it. Yeah.
Oh, the toy bar.
It was a small bar.
Oh,
he had a packaged liquor store and a bar.
He was really doing a lot.
My grandpa is like it very much like the American dream type of guy. Not that he got.
Does sound like the American.
He didn't get.
Wow! Finally, we've left the old world, and I can pursue my dream of delivering milk, mail, and drinks over a bar,
and bringing people together. But meaning that came up, had a bunch of siblings. They didn't have much money growing up. Went to the military, had no money, but made money. Figured out a way to invest. He didn't get super crazy rich or anything, but a much better, comfortable life, and did it through these channels that then when you get into arguments with people of that generation, that doesn't exist in the same way.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't live in small town America.
Yeah.
Being able to buy a house when you're poor.
Yeah, on milk money.
Yeah. But yeah, no, he's a good dude.
Wow, yeah. It's interesting the parallels to your life in terms of because it almost sounds like a freelance life, except where you're doing comedy, moving, building stuff, building a sauna for a podcast studio. That's the modern big city equivalent of milk, mail, and bar.
That's so true. Yeah, I always thought it was normal to be, have a bunch of jobs and doing a bunch of random shit because I don't know. That's just kind of always what I've done. That's what I've done did. I say
small town boy.
Yep.
Let it never be forgotten that Erik Scott is a small town boy.
Don't you forget it.
Raised by a fireworks man who was in turn raised by a milk, mail, and bar man.
Mm-hmm. Did you know your grandparents?
Yeah, I knew my grandpa on my easy now. I knew my grandpa on my mom's side, on my dad's side. What the fuck am I doing? I knew my grandpa on my mom's side and my grandma on my dad's side. So I had one of each die before I was born. So my grandpa was a military, he was a JAG. So he fought in World War II, never killed anyone, he says.
And he's pissed about it.
And then he became a judge advocate general, a military judge. And then he helped write the constitution, the military constitution of some African country that was being repatriated at in the 60s or something.
Was that a good thing?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
They wanted to, I don't know. They wanted to I remember one time, they wanted it to be modeled after the Canadian military constitution for whatever reason, so he got brought out.
Oh, I guess you guys aren't, if I heard an American guy was reconstituting a nation, it probably wouldn't be the best thing.
Right. Although at that time, people still liked America. They'd come in and they'd,
so true.
They'd, helped
people
win
still
the Second
like
World
it.
War. Sometimes.
Now that your president is inaugurated.
Yeah, now that the president only I voted for. It's nice to have my guy in office. I don't mind that he's orange. I found this out about my grandpa because I was at his house one time and then I noticed this on his bookshelf there was a book that was lined with zebra skin, like a pelt. And I was like, this looks pretty official. And he went, oh, that's the military constitution of, I can't remember, Zimbabwe. And I was like, what the fuck? And then he explained it. But my grandpa became very he became very pacifist. Very very vocally pacifist. And to the point where he
was so pacifist that he'd knock your lights out over it.
He hated any violence in movies. And he hated John Wayne for some reason. And I remember one time we were watching AMC at his place, and he went, "Oh, John Wayne, he's always." And he did an impression of John Wayne that he goes, "Watch out, watch out, watch out!" And he left, and he's like, "His bottom half leaves frame before his top half does." And he did this exaggerated puffing his chest out, and he really made me laugh. And I'm gonna say that was the only time we ever bonded. And then the next time I noticed, he was dead.
He gone.
And he died a pacifist's death. He turned the other cheek and got slapped to death.
Death shows up and says, I am going down without a fight.
Yeah.
I will not fight. Just take me.
Yeah.
They're like, this is curable.
Yeah.
You could live.
Yeah, Death is saying that to
Death's
him?
saying that to him. And he goes, I would never.
Death's like, I was just passing through, just to let you know.
I was going to the room down the hall.
Yeah.
Actually, that guy's fucked.
You're
but,
good.
All right, come on.
Take me now. And then my grandma, she was living in Quebec in Canada, and I don't remember much about her. Her name was Connie, except that I went to visit for a couple weeks when I was a wee boy, and she lived on a farm. And we caught dragonflies and frogs.
Yeah.
And we played with horses and cows. And that's the first time I ever saw a horse's big, long wanger. Because my sister did like a dressage competition when they were out there.
And dressage, I can only imagine, has something to do with the horse's wiener.
No, it's kind of the opposite. It's very like stiff and British and like refined.
What is dressage?
It's like a horse.
Oh, it's what you give a girl on prom night.
Yeah.
You pin on her dressage.
So dressage is very like horses doing like dainty little things.
Oh, yes, where they kind of...
Yeah, it's very British seeming. It's like very like, my sister was like a preteen girl, and all these little girls are doing like da 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 da, wearing like nice little like prim outfits. So let's just say when a horse's big hard wang, I want to say unclips from its belly.
Yeah.
And then boingsy, boingsy, like a
when
diving board that a big boy has just jumped off of.
It's like when the oxygen masks fall out of an airplane.
It's exactly like that. So when that's happening during this like prim and proper event, oh, it throws a wrench in there.
And
I was
cock.
I was a young boy watching this. I didn't want to. I was bored out of my mind.
Yeah.
And then I saw that thing happen.
Now we're talking.
God, changed my fucking life.
I love dressage.
I was like, Mom and Dad, I know what I want to be when I grow up. A horse.
I want to be a horse.
I want to be a horse.
Imagine being a centaur, but then you still got the man's thing. Man's thing, horse body.
Oh, no. Yeah, you got a horse upper side, kind of like Minotaur vibes. You got a horse from the waist up, and then your lower body is just two men's legs and a little dick, and you cannot support your upper half. So you're always flumping forward, and your tiny little dick isn't even dragging on the ground. And you just keep neighing to people, and you want them to help you. It's a fun thing to imagine.
It is.
That's a fun
That
thing
is a
to
fun
imagine.
thing to imagine. Well, you know what? Let's just do it for a minute.
I love how many of those old mythological guys are just half guy, half a different thing. What was going on there? Half goat, half bull, half horse. Guys really had issues back then.
Yeah.
They just wanted to be they were like, can you imagine if half of me was like that thing?
And someone's like,
What the
no one has said that before.
You're like, wow.
Socrates.
Wow. Like, what if my lower half, maybe it was like a way of capturing like horny, like unstoppable, horny nature.
Because I'm clearly not a man. I'm part animal.
Yeah, because like from the upper side, it was like, man, I feel like I'm an intellectual, but when my little guy gets going, I feel like an animal. And then everyone was like, yeah.
Well, I think that's why they in those times why a lot of those like sculptures have soft little wangers.
Yeah.
Is because it was looked at as if you had a big giant hog, a big dripping hog, that it was like uncouth. It was uncivilized. It was you were a brute. You weren't smart. And I only that had to have been because one guy who was all smart and had a little dong was like, whoa, look at that thing.
Yeah.
He's just like reading it, counting on his abacus.
Yeah, Michelangelo sitting at his sitting in his studio with his tiny little ding dong, saying, "It's uncivilized to have a big one. It's
it can't even fit in those things.
Yeah,
where you want to put it.
It's for idiots, and women don't like it, or they shouldn't."
And the women are like, we love idiots in general.
And Michelangelo goes, "I'm gonna get a gun and shoot them all."
Yeah, and he's like, "What's a gun?" And he goes, "I'm gonna talk to Da Vinci. He's got some drawings that I want to check out."
He's got some drawings.
Did they know each other?
Michelangelo and Da Vinci?
Probably not.
I don't know. I feel like the Ninja Turtles have made us think that all of them knew each other
True.
intimately. All of my favorite Renaissance painters are represented in the Ninja Turtles. I'm talking Michelangelo.
Yeah.
I'm talking Shredder. I'm talking, and of course I'm talking Splinter. So I just want to say, because we sort of buried the lead here, but and I don't want to anger any of our sponsors, but we do have a sponsor for today.
Yes, very
And
honored.
of course, it is Nasty Boy Condoms from Machine Gun Kelly.
That's all I use. If I wear one, that's what I'm wearing.
Nasty Boy Condoms from Machine Gun Kelly, MGK himself. They look like little garbage bags because they're made from little garbage bags. And bonus, they don't work. So thank you to MGK Machine Gun Kelly for the sponsorship. And yeah, Eric, you've been trying out the Nasty Boy condoms.
Well, yeah, because sometimes you'll be wearing a condom and you're going like, man, I bet this thing's working.
Yeah. And that kind of takes that takes the thrill out of it.
It really does.
Yeah.
I want to not know what's happening down there.
Yeah. You want a little garbage bag to catch your seed and spill just a bit of it.
Mm-hmm. And you slide her on and you pull the strings, tie them up, and it hurts. It hurts.
Yeah, you have to pull it tight. You it's the only condom that you tie that has 4 little plastic nubs at the end, and you tie 2 of them and you tie the other 2, and then there's still a way for air and everything else to get in there.
Yeah,
and
and
you try your best.
The hardest part is when you open it, you got to shake it out to get it and then slide it on really quickly.
Raccoons love Nasty Boy condoms from Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah.
Let raccoons nibble your thing.
Thank you. You know he's just going by Machine now?
No. Is he?
Sometimes. Because he doesn't want to be, because guns are a problem in this country.
That's his reason?
I think so.
He himself is a problem in this country.
You know this. I'm an unironic Machine Gun Kelly fan.
I didn't know that.
Really?
Really?
You haven't seen the Machine Gun Kelly flag that I have?
No.
Well, I got it because I went to a concert. I've seen him 3 times in concert.
What?
I love Machine Gun Kelly.
What are you talking about?
He's great. I met him once, briefly.
Where?
At his concert.
When?
So I've seen him 3 times. This most recent one, it was a surprise, like, pop-up concert.
It'd have to be for me to see Machine Gun Kelly.
Well, yeah.
He would have to pop up in my
in
bedroom.
the apartment. Him and this other artist put out an album, and
Artist cannot be the right
they
word.
did a surprise.
Who was it?
showing.
Handgun Jason?
It was
Who was it?
I think it was Trippy Red.
Trippy Red.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've heard that name.
Yeah, and it was at Irving Plaza, I think, and the tickets were free because
Yeah.
I won a lottery, and then
You won a lottery. Yeah.
you enter you
It's crazy
enter a
how a
thing.
lottery is so easy to win when you're the only one.
Mm-hmm. I was just me there, and then I talked to the security guy to the VIP section and got up there after the show and was hanging out. And Machine Gun Kelly walked by, and I was like, "Hey man, I've seen you all 3 times. You've been in New York." And he genuinely, he's very tall. He leaned over and he goes, "How was it?" Because he was like, it was the first time performing.
Don't make me
these
like
songs.
Machine Gun Kelly.
He goes, "How was it?" And I was like, "Dude, it was really good." He goes, "Oh, thanks, man." Like it was like a very nice, very sweet moment.
Machine Gun Kelly is like a human embodiment of one of those full body skeleton costumes.
Absolutely.
You know when people wear like the skeleton hoodie?
Yes.
He's that.
He's Jack Skellington.
Yeah, he is sort of a Nightmare Before Christmas thing, except he wants to steal Christmas and make it weird, make it sick and intense. He wants to put monster energy under the tree of every little boy and girl.
God, they need it. They needed to run around.
Machine Gun Kelly.
When he went to pop punk, that's what I like.
Oh, of course, that's the bridge that you followed.
Yeah, I didn't care too much or paid too much attention when he was rapping more.
Yeah.
But when he went to pop punk, I caught some of his stuff, and he produced a lot of it with Travis Barker of Blink-182. So it does have like a early 2000s feel to some of it, and yeah, really like it. I've seen him 3 times. Saw him at Pier 17. This was.
Is that the pier where the immigrants were banished back to where they came from because
100%.
Americans didn't like their music?
Yes, 1000%. It's at Ellis Island, and which was crazy though. One year I saw him there, and that's like a 2,000 person venue outside.
Yeah.
The next year sold out Madison Square Garden.
MGK at MSG.
He came in on a helicopter, like it was a fake helicopter, but he was riding on the ceiling, hanging from a rope ladder. That's how he entered
I fucking
MGK.
hate it,
dude.
I'll
show you my videos from the show.
You have videos?
I was floored. I paid far too much money for these tickets.
For MGK?
It was awesome. I took my girlfriend at the time.
Yeah,
and she
I'll
loved
say
it.
X.
Yeah, that's why she broke up with me on the floor. Should we jump into some bits?
Yeah. Okay, so I wanted to do a top 5 now. Okay. And this segment, of course, is called Top 5. Number 1. Number 2, number 3. Number 4, number 5, top 5. Checking his watch while I'm doing the theme song. Feels so right. So accurate. Today's top 5 is the top 5 rude t-shirts you can find at Spencer's Gifts.
There we go.
Or perhaps on redbubble.com. Rude
Etsy.
t-shirts. Etsy.
Yeah.
Sometimes Etsy. Etsy's a little bit hard to imagine a rude shirt at Etsy. Wouldn't it be like,
Find
I
anything
gave
on
up
Etsy.
knitting for this, and then it's like a picture of a cat?
As long as someone made it in their home with love, you can put it on Etsy.
Okay. So here's the top 5 rude t-shirts that I've seen at Spencer's Gifts. Toad from Mario Brothers, smoking a blunt with a thought bubble that says, "I want Yoshi to eat me out again." You like that one?
Yeah, again. I like that.
Again is the key.
Yeah. Because it says they've had a checkered past.
Yeah.
And why isn't he doing it anymore?
Yeah, why is Yoshi stopped? He got that eaten out tongue.
God, he sure does.
If you got an apple in that butt, Yoshi gonna pluck it out. Here's another t-shirt that we love. It's, of course, Garfield with a ball gag. And John is standing over him saying, "The lasagna goes in your ass today."
Yep. And then on there's a calendar in the back, and it's Monday.
It's gotta be Monday, yeah. And we don't draw too much attention to it.
No. It's, you know.
Yeah. If you look, you know.
And that's why Garfield hates Mondays.
Yeah.
That's when lasagna goes in your ass.
Yeah, this happens every Monday. And just up till this time, Jim Davis has never drawn a strip on a Monday. Not a true Garfield Monday.
Keeping us in the dark.
Jim Davis always keeping us in the dark. Okay, here's another one that I liked that I've seen at Spencer's Gifts is Rick getting bukkakied, saying, Morty, get in on this."
Yeah. That's a good one to wear to like a bar mitzvah.
Bat mitzvah.
Yeah.
Any mitzvah.
Truly any mitzvah.
Here's one that we like. It's Gollum from Lord of the Rings saying, "My precious," and he's holding a big black girl and petting her hair.
That's something. That's pretty good.
My precious, based on the novel Push by Sapphire.
Of course, yeah.
Do we like that?
I like that. That's got to be somewhere.
We got to
go get one.
We love Gollum petting that girl's hair.
I mean, both very dated references.
Yeah.
One far more specific than the other. I was talking to a girl, younger person, 11, no, early 20s, and I said something about Precious, and she didn't know Precious. And I go, have you read the novel Push by Sapphire?
Precious truly was a meme of a moment. It didn't become a true meme, I don't think, but just saying. So Precious is like a movie about this black girl who is having a very hard life, and they would always say in the marketing, "Precious," based on the novel Push by Sapphire, and it was such a mouthful.
Yes.
It's so funny to say.
Stone Cold Bummer by Manipulate.
Yeah, that's the 30 Rock version. So we do love Precious, but yeah, maybe the reference is so dated now that what I just pitched as a Spencer's Gifts t-shirt was actually kind of unpleasant to hear if you don't know the reference. We
should watch Precious and do a podcast during it, and just talk about and go, "Wow, she's so strong."
That would be, I'm going to say, problematic.
No, but we're very supportive.
Yeah, we're supportive of Precious.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the one that we're excited about, Spencer's Gifts t-shirt, number 5 of the top 5 is, it's text, and it says, "If you've got a dad bod," and then on the back, "Mommy want to suck you dry."
Yeah.
And then there's the entire cast of American Dad sort of sprinkled around it.
That's good.
Interesting.
For the American Dad fans.
For the American Dad fans. I've got an American Dad bod. I'm freaking jacked.
Huge up top, tiny legs.
Huge up top, tiny legs.
Big head.
Minotaur style. Now, of course, those were just silly jokes, but I want to say this. While I was researching this bit, and yes, I research.
Yeah.
I did find a lot of very real Spencer's Gifts and Redbubble t-shirts that were so much better than anything I could come up with, and were like mind-blowing. The idea that someone out there is wearing this shirt. So one, you're going to love this one. It's just text. It says, "Who ate all the pussy?"
That's good. It says, "We've got pussy at home."
Yeah, and then on the back
who
it
ate
says
all the
"pussy at
pussy?
home," ... and then it's a picture of Garfield.
Dude, I saw a shirt once that a lady was wearing on her body that says, "I've got the pussy, I make the rules."
Wow.
And she had to put that on in the morning.
Yeah.
And look in the mirror and go, nailed it.
Yeah. And her husband looks up from his morning cereal and he goes, does a little salute.
Oh,
He
God.
says, yeah, she's not wrong. It's embarrassing, but she's not wrong.
She's not wrong.
Here's another real one that I saw. It said, smile if you take it in the ass with a wink emoji. Just really. Someone's out there buying it. Someone is receiving that as a gift, more likely, and saying, oh my God.
See,
I couldn't.
Beyond even seeing these shirts like online or in like a retail store with a price tag, I love seeing them in thrift stores because that means someone has owned it.
Yeah, has owned it, and then came to the logical conclusion of like, oh, I should not own this, but I'm not going to throw it in the garbage. Someone else
should have this. Yeah.
There's another one that I saw, and it just said Joe Rogan podcast, and then it had an image of Sonic and Knuckles kissing.
That's good.
So
I like that one.
That was on TeePublic. I guess that's just sort of an agitator. It's sort of like if a Joe Rogan fan sees that, he's going to go, that's not.
He's not a hedgehog.
Now Joe doesn't go for that. I want guys to go, the podcast is nothing like that.
It's nothing like that. I like the guests they have. I want to listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson and a UFC fighter.
Here's another true t-shirt that I saw. It says, smells like slut in here. Which is great. I'll give you the last two. One says two-seater with an arrow pointing up to face and another arrow pointing down to crotch.
That's pretty good.
Good t-shirt.
He's a coop.
And this is the one that keeps blowing my mind because it comes up anytime you Google crazy t-shirt. And it's Horcrux, like the Harry Potter thing, but it's spelled whore, like hooker. Horcrux. And then it's a picture of a naked Voldemort coyly covering his milky breasts. This is a real t-shirt that is out there.
They gave Voldemort boobs.
Yeah. Voldemort got boobs, and he does it for money.
I can touch you now. And he honks him.
Potter. Pay him, Potter. Pay him for sex, Potter.
Yeah, I imagine, what's his face? In the first one, the Sorcerer's Stone. Instead of Voldemort's head on the back, he's got two big honking cans.
Yeah.
Voldemort's tits on his head.
He's using a little turban to hide his big honking cans. We're going to play a little game now.
Okay.
Called What Sound Does It Make? What sound does it make? Now, I want you to tell me what sound you think the following animal makes before I play it for you.
Okay.
Barn owl. Sort of Jimmy Stewart as a ghost there.
Oh, wow. I can turn my head all the way around. Oh, when I flap my wings, it doesn't make any noise. I throw up little pellets of mouse bones.
Oh, he's the owl now.
Jimmy Stewart's the owl.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but a hoo sound, barn owl.
A hoo-hoo. So that would be that's a very obvious guess, I will say. And you're basically saying that you think I'm doing a trick question on you. But I'm not, and I would never. Here is the sound a barn owl makes.
I would love to see that guy talking to the kids eating the Tootsie Pop.
What an interesting job for an owl. A mascot for Tootsie Pops.
I don't know how he got it.
These mascots, who knows how they get their jobs. So that's the hissing, that's the natural hiss of a barn owl. Did that surprise you?
It really did.
Me too. What sound do you think a lynx makes?
A lynx is like a cat sort of thing?
It's like a bobcat.
See, I would assume that makes the sound like the owl just made.
A hiss?
But probably like a...
Oh, wow. Sort of like a pained domestic cat kind of sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a cat in heat.
Hey.
Every time I name what you're doing, you then try to do what I've named, and it gets less like that. There he is. Okay, I'll play you a lynx sound. pretty good, right?
That's really good.
Yeah, a lynx really just sounds like a guy at the end of his rope.
Oh my god, dude! I think my dad's part lynx. We'd be on vacation, and then he'd just go.
Yeah, a lynx is your dad after you've crashed the car again.
Just out of words. You ever seen that video of the frog when this guy's holding the frog, big bullfrog, and the frog looks at him and goes,
No.
I'll find it.
Holy shit. I thought you were exaggerating.
No.
It's a very passionate sound
Yeah.
from a frog. See, that's the kind of frog that you want to kiss and turn into a prince.
Mm-hmm.
Because it seems like he's ready to go.
Giving some signals.
Yeah. Is there a frog in here?
Whoa, that's weird. I thought I heard a frog.
Me banging on your room when you're in there with your gal. Like, Eric, did you buy a frog or something?
How many frogs do you have in there?
I could swear I heard one. Then I bust in and I go, sorry, miss. I'm just looking for the frog.
To give it a big old kiss.
I want to fuck whatever making that sound.
Wish my wife would sound like that.
Yeah.
She's always going, ribbit, bud, wiser.
Really good stuff. Okay, here's the last one you're going to get. This is, of course, an elk. What sound do you think an elk makes?
Well, it's kind of like a horse, big horse with horns.
Yeah, sort of like a big horse with horns. Very good horse. Now let's see if it's an elk. That's an elk. That's an elk. That's the sound Machine Gun Kelly makes before he goes into his cocoon at night.
It does. It sounds like a zombie noise. I bet they've used that like audio recording of an elk to make like a dinosaur scream in a film. Because I don't know if you know this, they don't actually have footage of how dinosaurs sounded. They don't have any actual audio recordings of how dinosaurs sounded, so they have to make them up. Yeah.
So the baby dinosaur in the show Dinosaurs who goes, not the mama, I'm the baby, gotta love me. You're saying that that's sort of a Foley artist
That's put
making
together through a bunch of different animals, probably. They just had to assume that that's how a dinosaur talked. Like when that one dinosaur in Land Before Time went, shit, this brontosaurus bitch tall as hell.
It's time for shout-outs and plugs.
Shut
Now,
up,
here's who I would like to shout out. I would like to shout out earwax removal videos. Truly my forbidden pleasure on TikTok. And if Trump takes those away from me, I'll storm the Capitol.
Good.
That's what it'll take.
You're gonna have to be going in back alleys, being like, just show me a video of your ear.
Show me the wax. Show me the wax.
I want the wax.
I want the wax.
It puts the Q-tip in the ear.
It puts the Q-tip in its ear, or else it gets the follow-up request.
Super nice Buffalo Bill.
Yeah. Or else it gets me not feeling very good and the guilt of that. Or else it gets the guilt of letting me down again. Mm-hmm. It puts the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the guilt of me being sad, and it knows that. Okay. Eric, would you like to shout out or plug anything?
Yeah, let's give a shout out to the adult film section of video stores. Remember that?
Yes.
There was a door there. You put up beads. And I once saw a dad come out of that holding a stack of videos and join his family who were renting some other flubber or something.
Wow.
And
a stack.
I just think it's cool that they have it clearly labeled and you have to go in there and come out and people know that jacking off is imminent.
Yeah. Wow, what a bold dad.
Yeah.
Finally, a bold dad.
Back when men were men.
Yeah.
You get porn with your family.
Porno behind the curtain. I only went behind the curtain once, and it was in Quebec, and an older boy took me there. And then we looked at French pornos, and I felt very uncomfortable. I was too young for all that.
Yeah. It's
I didn't like it back there. And then we rented a French porno and a French version of Natural Born Killers. I didn't understand neither of them.
Yeah, those First time seeing porn, especially when it was given to you by an older boy, really scary stuff.
Very spooky stuff.
I'm like, is mine supposed to look like that?
I go, how come these are just pictures of you, older boy? Shout out to adults video sections. Still the best place to make your dreams come true. Now porno, not the same.
Not the same.
There's almost no 90-minute porno movies that you can watch anymore. And that's a shame. So little plot.
Make porn longer.
How about we make porn longer? How about instead of a 5-minute short film about a real estate agent who needs to sell the house, but he's not going to let her go until she gives him what he wants, we get a little backstory. How long has she worked at that real estate agency? Why is it so important for her to make this one sale? And where does he get off? Who is he? And what's he going home to?
I'll tell you where he gets off.
In the show house.
Probably somewhere around here.
Yeah. All over that nice lady.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as always, Eric, thank you very much for your time. Thank you to the listener. Thank you to our producer, Stephan. And we'll see you next time on Oh, That's It.